Hi everyone, my name is Madison Asensio and my project topic is anemia. I chose this topic because I found it very interesting while studying the blood chapter in my physiology class, and it was nice to be able to learn more about it, such as how it arises, the different types, and the things that people can do to help overcome this condition. So I wanted to start off by recapping the three components of blood. We have plasma, the buffy coat, and erythrocytes, also known as your red blood cells, which make up about 45% of the total blood volume and play an important role in transporting oxygen. Since anemia is defined as a below normal oxygen carrying capacity of the blood, this condition can arise for several reasons. Either there is a severe loss of red blood cells, a decreased rate of red blood cell production, or a hemoglobin deficiency. So let's begin. Now that we know what anemia is, I really wanted to elaborate on how this condition could arise from a hemoglobin deficiency. As we know, hemoglobin is a protein only found in red blood cells, and it plays a role in delivering oxygen throughout the body. It does so because the hemoglobin molecule has two parts to it: a globin portion, which has a four-folded polypeptide chain, and the heme groups, which consist of four iron molecules which bind to the peptide chains. Each iron molecule has the ability to bind to one oxygen molecule, meaning that a hemoglobin molecule can have a total of four iron molecules on board at once to be delivered to the rest of the body. So if there's a deficiency in hemoglobin, then that would result in not enough oxygen getting delivered to the tissues because there aren't enough hemoglobin molecules for that to bind to, resulting in a type of anemia known as renal anemia. Now I wanted to talk about erythropoiesis, how it takes place and how it can affect an individual. Red blood cells only last an average of about 120 days, and after that they are sent to the spleen to be removed from the body. Erythropoiesis is made possible with the help of the kidneys and the bone marrow in order to make new red blood cells and maintain a steady balance with the old red blood cells being destroyed. This works because when the kidneys detect a low oxygen delivery to the tissue, they will secrete the hormone erythropoietin into the blood, and that hormone will stimulate erythropoiesis, which takes place in the red bone marrow. This activity will therefore increase the amount of circulating red blood cells and restore oxygen delivery to the blood. If an individual suffers from kidney disease, it can result in renal anemia because now we know how important the kidneys are to this process. As covered, renal anemia results from kidney disease and leads to insufficient red blood cell production. Nutritional anemia results from a dietary deficiency when individuals are not getting key nutrients that are necessary for erythropoiesis, such as iron, which can be high red meats and dark leafy greens. Aplastic anemia results from the bone marrow not being able to produce enough red blood cells. It can be due to failure over time from the destruction of our red bone marrow from heavy exposure to radiation. Pernicious anemia results when an individual is unable to absorb enough vitamins such as B12 from the digestive tract. This raises a major problem similar to nutritional anemia because B12 is vital for normal red blood cell production. The symptoms of anemia depend on the severity of an individual's condition, and it can range from mild to moderate or severe. Those that suffer from mild to moderate anemia may not experience any signs or symptoms. However, those with severe cases may experience the most common sign, which is fatigue, due to the fact that there aren't enough circulating red blood cells being delivered to the body. Some other symptoms as a result of anemia are shortness of breath, even chest pain due to the lack of oxygen contained in red blood cells that the tissues need. If there aren't enough red blood cells being circulated throughout the body and delivering oxygen to the heart, then it has to work harder to move the blood throughout the body. Some other symptoms can be dizziness, headache, cold hands and feet, and also pale skin. Lastly, the main way that individuals can help overcome some of the symptoms that they experience for anemia would be to make choices that are rich in iron in their diet, such as consuming foods that are rich in iron. There are many foods that are rich in iron, starting with dark leafy greens. Some ideas are kale, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, parsley, and seaweed. Next, we also have red meats and pork. Nuts such as almonds, cashews, peanuts, walnuts, and dry fruit, as well as dark chocolate, are high in iron. Lastly, beans contain very high sources of iron such as lentils, pinto, kidney, and soybeans. Iron supplements can also be used for those that lack iron, and even blood transfusions for those that suffer from a severe amount of blood loss.